Hello students, I'm Dr. N. Kavita and you're watching LPV Chemistry. Students, so far in acid, base and salt, we have completed acid and base. Now we'll move on with salt. I hope that you have already studied salt formation in acid base neutralization. So let's move on with the session. Here the question is, what is salt? And how do you determine the pH of a salt? As I told you, the pH can be determined, and how to determine the pH using the pH chart and pH strip I have already explained in the previous session. Now we are going to see the pH of a salt. For the question, what is salt? Let's see a definition. Salt is a combination of anion of an acid, cation of a base. What does it mean? Let's take anion and cation of acid and base. Let's take strong acid. First of all, you have to know what a strong acid is and a strong base. Let's take HCl, example for a strong acid, NaOH for a strong base. It completely dissociates into its ions and you get more of H plus in case of strong acid. In case of strong base, you get more of OH minus ion. Now, what is a weak acid and a weak base? Because this is very important. Unless you have a clarity on this, you cannot understand how a salt is formed. A weak acid is example CH3COOH. This does not completely dissociates. So this dissociates completely. Whereas in the case of weak acid, it does not dissociate completely. It gives H plus ion, but the dissociation is not complete. Hope you got a clarity now. Let's take a base, NH3. How can you say NH3 as a base when it does not give OH minus ion? You don't have a OH. For this, let me explain you that when it is dissolved in water, you get NH4 plus, which is your ammonium cation, and you get OH minus. So in this case, OH minus is obtained, but it is not completely dissociated. So these two are not strong. So I have told you what are the acids and strong base. Now let's see this diagram. Here it is said that a strong acid and a strong base gives a salt which is having a pH of 7. Let's first make the salt. Let's say take hydrochloric acid, sodium hydroxide. It gives you a sodium chloride salt. Let's first get this answer. You're taking a strong acid which is HCl, a base NaOH, and you're supposed to get sodium hydroxide. And this is H plus, this is Cl minus, Na plus, OH minus. It said that anion of an acid, the anion is minus charged. So the chloride is anion and you're taking cation of the base. Na plus is cation, so you're taking cation of the base. So you get NaCl plus H2O. So this is neutral. How do you say it is neutral? So the common salt that we eat is due to the formation of strong acid and a strong base, which gives you a neutral salt. And once it is a neutral salt, you should confidently say that its pH is 7. Now let's see what happens when a weak acid and a strong base, a strong acid and a weak base, and a weak acid and a weak base forms what kind of salt and what its pH is. Now let's take an example of weak acid. Let's see, the first one is pH greater than 7. You have to take a weak acid and strong base. So you can take CH3 COOH plus NaOH. You will get CH3COONA, which is your sodium acetate. Sodium acetate is made up of weak acid and a strong base. So the salt that you are getting is supposed to be the basic, because the dissociation of this one does not take place completely. When the dissociation does not take place completely and the OH, which is a strong base, NaOH is a strong base, the dissociation is complete. So in this formation, the OH minus dominates. So it is a basic one. Basic salt is having a pH greater than, pH will be above 8 to 14. Now let's see the strong acid and strong and weak base. You are taking a strong acid and a weak base. Strong acid example is your HCl, and your weak base is NH3. The salt obtained is NH4Cl minus, NH4 plus Cl minus. Now this is ammonium chloride. This ammonium chloride is made up of more of H plus ion is dominating because it is a strong acid. So you will be getting the ammonium chloride to be in acidic level. So the pH is acidic pH, which can range from this is, as I told you, it is pH is acidic, so the pH can range from 2 to 6. So it is the pH is 1 to 2, and as you know that if it is a strong acid, then only the pH is 1, and if it is a weak acid, the pH can range from 4 to 5. Let's exactly know what is the ammonium ammonium chloride's pH. The ammonium chloride will have a pH of uh, ammonium chloride will have a pH of 4 to 6. Majoritively, it will have a pH of 4 to ammonium chloride. It is highly soluble in water and it is mildly acidic solution. It gives a mildly acidic solution ranging from 4 to 6. So I'll just change this. It is pH 4 to 6. Now the question is, what happens if the pH of the salt is weak acid and a weak base, and you test it with pH strip? So here also both are same, weak, weak. So here also neutralization takes place and you will get neutral pH. Let's take an example. Your weak acid is your CH3COOH, which is your weak acid, and your weak base is NH3. When you take these two, you will get CH3COO NH3, which is your ammonium acetate. And this ammonium acetate also is a weak, it's a neutral one. So the ammonium acetate is neutral, so its pH has to be 7. Okay, students, now I hope that you have understood the salt's pH and how to determine the salt's pH. Um, we will repeat it again. If it is a strong acid and a strong base, or a weak acid and a strong base, weak base, both are strong or both are weak. In that case, the pH is 7. And if it is a weak acid, then you know that the OH minus dominates, so it is a basic one. Whereas if you take a strong acid and a weak base, the H plus dominates, so it is acidic one. So you will be able to prepare all the four kinds of salts, mixing the acid and base. Thank you for watching, students. I want you people to subscribe, like and share my videos.